style, comedy, issues, entertainment on Young VIP TV. The future is here.
My name is Bolaji Kudus ADEOYE. I finished from Olabisi Onabanjo University, ADEOYE, Ogun State. And from there, I moved to the Nigerian Law School, Lagos campus, where I had my BL program. Uh, with God's permission, I was able to or emerge as the overall best male student for the 2018 at the 2018 BAF final examinations, and also won the first prize for professional ethics and skills for the year. That's a bit about me. So, how did I mentally prepare myself for the law school program? Um, well, I remember asking a couple of friends, well, who were then already at the law school, how the whole experience was and what I needed to do. Then I even asked them textbooks to get, or but the real preparation mentally, I would say, started off when we got posted, and then the reality dawned on me that really I was going to law school. But even at that, the peak would be the very morning of my resumption at law school, 6th November 2018. Sorry, is it 18? 17, sorry. And that morning, I just had to take out my old diary and wrote out uh, things I wanted to achieve at the law school. So that's just the sum up of how I mentally prepared myself for the law school. So how was law school for me? Well, the experience would be a little bit above what I had expected because law school was totally a different experience from what we've always had. Like the 5 years we had at the university, it's not something you can compare with just even that 1 year program. Because while the university focused more on the substantive part, law school was heavy on procedural. So that in itself makes the experience a lot different from what we had in university. So it was for me the experience was definitely way above what I'd expected. It requires me to read volumes and to within the very short period of time to to retain as much as I could. So it was a different experience altogether, but it was fine. It was I wouldn't say it was, yeah, bittersweet perhaps. The labor you had to put into it and all, but it was fine eventually. If I had a special reading method, well, yes, yes, I would say I have. I had some reading method, maybe not special really, but I the reading method were the phases we had in law school. So while we were on campus, I read my notes, or I made notes. I read textbooks, recommended textbooks. I attended lectures like anyone, and then I also engaged in some tutorial discussion with colleagues. So that was it. And on weekend, what we did was to what I always do was to sit down and look through what we've done for that week and try as much as possible to get questions from past questions and treat them. So in essence, it was we weren't just reading. We were as much as possible during weekends we were trying our hands on some of those questions, and that way we were able to retain as much as we could as we work on. So that was it for me where we were on campus. I mean, before the externship I meant. And then during externship, because we had to go to courts in the morning, and then also when it was time for law firm, we had to go to law firm and probably get home very, very late in the evening, especially when you are in Lagos. So for me, my reading pattern had to change. At that point in time, the focus was to reread because we had stayed for 20 weeks on campus. We had read quite a lot. It was that period for me to consolidate what I've read, what we've been taught. So I was just doing basically revision. And how I went about it was to read very early in the morning. Like before setting out at all, I would try as much as possible to cover at least maybe a week of a particular course. And then when I was in court, maybe during break or maybe recess, I would just stay back to at least to try and cover maybe a week also. So usually I'll try to I tried to cover 2 weeks per day. So the traffic, because like I said, I was in Lagos that time. The traffic was another avenue for me to try my hands with my drafts. So I drafted. I remember drafting most like during traffic. I would just put on earpiece and draft. I mean, in traffic, because by the time I would be getting maybe like 8:30 or 9 at times, I was already gone. So that was the experience for me. Finally, the last phase, which was after externship, and we were just weeks away into the exams. Then it was serious. It was intense, but because I formed notes, it was just basically revision, working on past questions, um, trying. I mean, time. Now you have to time it. So that was the whole experience for me. So my reading pattern, my special reading methods were as the faces of law school were. So I had a reading style for uh, I had a reading style for while we were on campus before externship. I had another one for externship, and I guess after externship and just before the exams, I also had to, as much as possible, adjust within the shortest time we had there. My normal day in law school was typically in the morning. I would wake up very early because I have to go and pray. I would wake up very early in the morning, get back and eat. I took my breakfast law school. I learned that probably that a bit more in law school because I wouldn't want any distraction afterwards. So I took my breakfast as early as 6:30, and then I'll get back. So before I took shower and all, I would try and or probably read ahead of the class. So that was the plan. So you read before class, and then in class I would dedicate all my attention to it. So that would take us maybe like for in Lagos campus it was very rigorous. You could have classes extend till late into 5 p.m. or 6. And after that, I will get back and relax a bit, take my lunch, and get back for group discussions. And then after that, I will just retire for the day. But before I sleep, then I will always try and take out maybe an hour at least to revise what we've done for the day. So it was just like that. It was like that. It was like that. But then weekends, I would dedicate more time to reading, to tutorials during weekends. But for weekdays, it was strictly trying to read before class, getting to revise whatever it is I've been taught after class, and that was it. So did I attend all classes from the one till the end? I would say yes. I think I did. Yeah, I think I did. I can't recall all now, but I think I did. Rather, what I missed then would be maybe okay. Did I came late to some of the classes? Maybe I was trying to do something I couldn't. So, but I think I attended all classes. Yes, I attended all classes, but came late on a few. I wasn't in a study group per se like that. I wasn't, but then I had my group now because law school would divide you guys up into groups. That was the style. So for my group, at times we come about okay, one of our colleagues in the group actually came up with an idea of a study group. She named it Red Scrollers. Yes. So at times we would organize something, maybe a very naughty area of maybe of a course, maybe especially corporate law practice. We could take on something, I call at least one, something on shares, debentures, and the rest of capital markets and the rest. So we could just take our time. So it wasn't a consistent thing. It was just something out of the blue, once in a while thing. But the one I think I dedicated most attention to was the tutorial I told you about, the one we had at the mosque every weekend. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday in the evenings, we were always there to take out maybe an hour or two for past questions, revisions, and all. So I wasn't in a study group, stricto sensu, but I was in groups where we had done something where any study group would have done.
On Young VIP the future is here.
Did I have friends in law school and would I recommend it? Of course, we are social beings. We can't afford not to have friends. Although I'm not entirely a friendly type, quote and unquote, but I had a few acquaintances. I made some friends who we still reach out to I mean to each other even now. So Yeah, I made some friends, and I would definitely recommend that. You see, law school is something that comes and goes like that. So you don't want to be caught up in all academic wheel, and you fail to actually have friends because friendship will last, will outlive law school experience, and you definitely meet people everywhere. So friendship, yeah, but maybe not. If you're not the type, just be yourself. That's one thing about law school. You don't need to go out all seeking for friends if you're not the type that always want to have friends like that, a list of them. I wasn't the type, but I had a handful of friends. Yeah, I did. Was I in a relationship before? I mean, in law school. Yeah, I think that one is something that yeah, I would like to share because I didn't have any relationship throughout my 5 year period. I mean, law, I mean, university, and it was intentional. It was something I just said okay, and it wasn't because I wanted to be a scholar or anything. No, it wasn't. It was just okay. I just decided to say, okay, now, and I wasn't ready for a relationship. I was, even till now, I'm not the type that commits like that. Like, I find some things very, very boring, like the calls and all that. So it actually puts me, I just wanted something. I didn't want any distractions. I wouldn't call it distraction because it was actually relevant. I had friends that were in relationship and were also very good, I mean, academically and all. But it was just a personal decision not to have a relationship 5 years. So yeah, I was in law school, and for the first time I was thinking really after law school. I mean, so I took out time to actually have a relationship, but it didn't work out. It turned out the person I had wanted was already hooked up already. But if that person wasn't, probably I would have had. So yeah, I tried my best to have a relationship at law school, but it didn't work out. So it wasn't my fault. Was it all booked for me, and was I the all going type or not going type person? Let me just start with from the rear. Till now, I'm not the all going type person. I enjoy my solitude. I could be at home all day. So law school too, except okay, 1, 2, 3 conferences I probably had to attend. I was always on campus. The musical concert or something like that organized by SRC students, I didn't go for any of those because I wouldn't enjoy myself. Where everybody would be dancing, I wouldn't. I wouldn't be able to. I'm not a nerd, but I just don't enjoy social events as such. I don't really do much of socials. But it wasn't all booked for me. I remember I used to hang out with friends to watch. At least I watched. Then it was Russia 2018. Yeah, so I watched most of the matches. So it was one way for me to socialize and not to be all in books. And then movies. During the externship, I made it like 2 hours break. My 2 hours break was just one movie. So 2 hours break, one movie. So I watched a lot of movies, a lot of series during my extension. So it wasn't all books for me. Yeah. Bar final preparation, advice, tips. I would advise anybody preparing for bar finals to hold on to two things. One is of course you must have prepared mentally, and also you need to be very prayerful. We are like if I still have any growth against the system in the bar finals, it would be the volume of what you're expected to read and commit to within a very short period of time. It was just too much. So it could be somehow. But for towards the backfire itself, I would encourage anybody to make his burden light by beforehand. I mean, just have a note. Even if you're not the type that forms notes, like me, I don't usually form notes. Have something that you know can sustain you for that 2 weeks or 3 weeks of preparation for the exams. Because trust me, the anxiety in the air already will never allow you to even be able to say you want to read textbook at that period in time. So it's very important that you have something, maybe a jotter, your note, or something that you can just, as the exams, okay, for day one, you can just go over and then go for your exams, go over and go for exam. But more than any other thing, you need to be motivated. You need to know that you can do this. People have come and gone, they've done it. People that probably maybe you even academically more sound, they've done it. So it's something that anybody can do actually. But it's very important that you stay motivated. More than anything, you need motivation within this period. Because the moment you lose that, maybe if your first exam didn't go as you have expected, trust me, you can actually ruin the rest of the exams. So for the exams, please, it's very important. One, prepares, but more than any other thing, stay prayerful and motivated throughout the phase. That would be my advice to anybody. So how did I feel when I saw my results and it was a first class? Was I expecting it or not? Well, the feeling is something you can't compare the feeling because it wasn't just comparable with any feeling at all. Because but this is back final where you can goof and then that will be it. You need to come back 1 year. So when I saw the result and then it was first class, it was just a dream come true for me. About if I was expecting it, yes, I was. Like I said, I wrote down as part of my mental preparation goals. One of my goals was to make a first class at law school. So was I expecting this? Yes, I was. So I can only be thankful to God that it actually came true. So when did I know that I was the overall uh, best male student for the year, and how did I feel about it? I got to know that I was the overall best male student. I think 2 days to my own call. So my call was November 29th, and on November 27th, a friend just called me and then told me, "Hey, Kudus, you were the overall best male student." I was actually eating, and I said, "Damn it, can you just not play?" Although I was expecting, like I said, I was expecting a first class, and then I would say I was expecting to maybe win a prize, but I wasn't expecting that entirely. So it was just everything for me, honestly speaking. I felt really dreams actually come true. So that was it for me. It was a very, very exciting experience for me. What is my best experience and then worst experience at the law school? My best experience remain my appearance before Honorable Justice S. Olagunju, if I'm not wrong, of Ogun State High Court. So we had our moot and mock trials. And now, I mean, the judge, his lordship was there. The one thing that made it memorable for me was because prior to that trial, I lost hope. It was our case. We had a very bad case, a very weak case for that matter, and I wasn't expecting to do that well. So for the judge to actually unpick me as the best counsel on that uh, trial was something very memorable for me. And then especially because even the judge actually made comment that if you can actually put more into this practice, I could actually be a very good litigator in future. So it was very, very good experience for me because I just felt actually even at work, even when you're not going to win, you can actually get to be appreciated. So it was a very good experience for me. About my worst experience, uh, my worst experience would be one class I goofed. Yes, I goofed in the sense that I mean I wasn't having a good time with one of my lecturers, and then she was also having a very bad day. So she just came out all out for me. It was maybe her first or second class in, and then she came all out for me. And then to law school, especially in Lagos campus, was just like an arena. You have over 1,005 students there, and for everybody to just be there and then you are being technically humiliated in that. It was very, very traumatizing for me. But I actually went over it. I just knew it was regular day, that you don't always have a good day. So it was just a very bad day for me that day, basically. Is law school overrated? I don't think law school is ever overrated. For that period, you wouldn't have read as much as you read for law school period. So it's never overrated. I don't think it's overrated. But about if you could fail, if I mean all the preach about, I mean, one could fail. No, I don't. I think that would be overrating it. If one has studied, has prepared, prayed, I think anybody can pass. Even if a person that actually made maybe 2-1 third class out of university can actually even make a first class in law school. So law school is not overrated in terms of what you need to do, the labor, the reading and all, but it seems to be overrated about maybe the class of degree you can actually come out from. Do I have any extra things to say? Yeah, I would say to anybody actually watching this video to keep dreaming, and that actually dreams do come alive. So basically, that's all I could say.
Please subscribe to our YouTube channel by clicking on the subscribe button below. Also click on the bell beside it to get notified when we upload new videos.